The law firm. What do you got?
The law firm. It's a story that involves Junior Seau.
What happened?
My gosh.
So we're getting beat up at linebacker. We have some injuries. And Bill says to me, he goes, hey, where's Junior? Because he wasn't, he was played for us, but I was like, I don't know. He's like, give him a call, find out. I was like, all right. So hey, June. I go, where are you? He's like, Fiji. I was like, the island? He's like, yeah, I'm surfing. I was like, okay, well, Bill wants to bring you in. Like, we're, kind of beat up. Like, are you ready to go or what? He's like, yeah, I'm ready. I was like, all right, well, how fast can you get here? He's like, I don't know. I'll get there as soon as I can. I was like, great. So I go back to Bill and I was like, hey, Junior's in Fiji surfing. I was like, Fiji's like.
That's far.
And he's like, well, when can he get here? I'm like, he's trying to get here as soon as he can. We're playing Seattle, in Seattle. So I was like, well, I'm like, he can get back to the West Coast. I'm like, hey, just meet us in Seattle. He's like, no, he's got to come back. He's got to take a physical before he's on the country. I'm like, we're going to fly him all the way. He's like, yeah, he's got to fly all the way here. I was like, oh my God. So I called you and I was like, hey, bro, you got to fly all the way to Boston. Like, you got to get. So I think he was getting into Boston on like Thursday. Like, I called him on Monday. I was like, you got to fly. And then we're going to get on a plane. We're going to fly all the way back to Seattle. Like, this is going to be awesome. So Junebug's great, right? So Junior flies in, does physical. And Junior's like unbelievable human specimen.
Yeah.
Like, he's always in shape. Doesn't matter. Like, So he's great, pass physical, get on plane, fly Seattle. He's like, buddy, what's the plan? And I'm like, well, you're not playing, but we want you to get on team. You play next week, get you in shape, make sure you're ready to go, all that stuff. He's like, all right. I'm like, you're actually probably going to be active for the game because everybody's hurt. I'm like, but I'm not playing you. He's like, okay, all right, no problem. So we get into the game. I think it was, I have to ask Brew on this one. So I think it was Gary Guyton, right?
Gary Guyton.
So Gary's another one of my linebackers that, I kind of had Georgia Tech, right?
Quick fact, Gary Guyton set up Slater with his wife.
Shout out Gary.
Nice. Gary's great. Gary's great.
Matchmaker.
So Gary and Gerard were like, that was Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
That's what they were for me, right? So Gary, I think, takes out Brew. We're in the game. Like, hits him, like, so now Brewski's
Friendly fire.
Yeah, friendly fire. So
Friendly
now Teddy's
fire.
down. So Teddy's out of the game. So I'm like, Junior, you got to go in. He's like, what? I'm like, we're out of bodies. I'm like, you got to go. So put Junior out there. It's right before the half. Throws like a little route. Now, Deion Branch is on Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, Deion obviously played for us. I love Deion, but so now he's in Seattle. So Deion catches like a check down. He goes for like 60-some yards. We missed tackle. We have like 11 missed tackles on the play. I think everyone missed him like 7 times. Junior missed him like 5. Like, Junior misses him so bad, and when he goes blowing by me. I grabbed him. I literally throw him back. I'm like, go get him. He still runs. So I throw him back in there. He takes off. All right, so game's over. We're staying in California. It was back-to-back games. So we get in the meeting on Monday or whatever, and we're getting ready to go, or Wednesday. And Bill's like, he goes, we were done practicing pads at this point because, it was late in the season. He goes, look, gee, he missed Deion like 4 times. He's like, he's got to practice his tackling. I was like, okay. He's like, tell him to bring his pads to practice. I was like, what? He's like, tell him to get his pads, get his equipment, get out there for post-practice. I was like, sweet. So I'm like, hey, Junior, bring your pads to practice. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, you had some missed tackles. I'm like, it wasn't good on tape. I'm like, Bill wants to do some tackling after practice. He goes, does he realize I'm like the NFL's all-time leading tackler? And I was like, yeah, well, you'd have one more if you just tackled him before the half. So I'm like, get your pads on, let's go, we got to go. So he's like, he gets his pads. And so I'm like, practice rookie. I'm like, hey, Benny, I need your help post-practice. He's like, yeah, coach, whatever you need. Ben, I love Ben.
Ben Jarvis, Green-Ellis.
I'm like, all right, well, we're going to do one-on-one tackling, you and Junior Seau, like post-practice. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be great. So they're like 10 yards apart, whistle. And, Bill's over there and throwing. So whistle goes, and Junior's like, bow, just drills him. And I was like, ooh. And I'm like looking at Benny. Benny gets up. Junior looks at me, he's like, we going again? And I'm looking at Bill, I was like, it was like, pow, pow. And now Junior's now like, is that enough? You guys good? Have you seen that? And Benny's like, helmet, I'm pretty sure, is sideways. Like, it's just one-on-one, like, blood sport at this point. I'm like, what? I'm looking, are we done here?
This is post-practice.
It's post-practice.
This is post-practice on the road.
Dude, surfing like a week earlier. I'm like, are we done here yet or what? So, yeah, so we did one-on-one tackle with Benny. Benny He took
He's
them
a
all.
team guy.
Hey, that's a team guy right there.
And he didn't fumble.
Never.
When we were doing the research for this game,
Yeah.
to this point in his career, he never fumbled in high school, college, or pros.
Mr. Ball Security.
Ball security,
Security is job security. There's nothing more important than the ball. The other one that you say is like, when you carry the ball,
You carry
the
the fate.
fate of the entire organization in your hands.
He said, not just organization, the fucking region. This is a big region.
Then he said, say less. I got you.